Discovery of vacuum. The ancient Greek philosophers were convinced that a vacuum was nothing and therefore an impossibility because nature absorbs vacuum. In 17th century, however, vacuum was discovered and their property was explored in detail. Scientists were quick to realize their potential values. A vacuum was literally nothing. It is an empty space. For thousands of years, philosophers thought such thing could not exist. But in early 1600, the Italian scientist Galileo Galilei became involved. He had been told by the pump makers that they could not pump out water of a well more than 30 feet or 10 meters deep. Their pumps could push water higher than this, but they could not stack it up. He discussed his observation. One of his students, Torricelli, who suggested experimenting with mercury instead of water. Mercury is 13 times denser than water and might show the same phenomena at lower height, making it much easier to investigate. Torricelli took a 3-foot tube, closed one end, and filled completely with mercury. He dipped the open end in a bowl of mercury and raised the closed end. Suddenly, the height of the mercury column is reached about 30 inches or 76 cm. A gap appeared in the tube above the mercury. It could not be air that had been dissolved, because when he lowered the end of the tube, the gap was closed immediately. Air cannot dissolve so quickly. The gap reappeared when he raised the end of the tube again. The gap was a vacuum and it became known as Torricellian vacuum. Torricelli realized that the mercury must be rising because of the atmospheric pressure, which forcing the heavy liquid up the tube. Atmospheric pressure could only push the mercury up by 30 inches or 76 cm, because this figure corresponds normal atmospheric pressure. But the water is 13 times less dense than mercury, so atmospheric pressure can push water 13 times higher. It's about 33 feet to 10 meters. French philosopher Pascal predicted that height of mercury would be lower on the top of mountain when the pressure of atmosphere should be lower. His brother-in-law made this experiment and proved him right. Robert Boyle and Robert Hooke repeated Torricelli's experiment in Oxford from 1650. They noticed that the height of the mercury column varied from time to time. At first they thought that it depends on the phase of moon, like tides. But then they realized it depends on weather. When mercury was rising, there was a good weather to come, and when it was falling, there was a bad weather on the way. In effect, they invented the barometer to measure the air pressure.